What's up guys, I'm Sean. Just got back from the racetrack where I tested my front splitter and front canards. Now that I'm running full aero, I feel that the spring rates are a little soft. So today we're going to be switching the springs to something stiffer. So I'm currently running Ohlins coilovers, and these are the upgraded Swift springs. 7-inch, 672 pounds. And in the rear, 5-inch, 784 pounds. Get the car safely on jack stands, remove the wheels. Then we're going to loosen the top nuts. And then we're going to loosen the sway bar end link. Now grab a jack and put it underneath the strut assembly. We're going to need that before we lower it. Now measure the threads on your coilovers to the current height. Then we're going to loosen the collars to relieve pressure from the spring so we can get to the top nut. So using your spanner wrenches, you lower the collars. And the reason why we do this is because if not, the spring is going to have a lot of pressure. And when you remove the top nut, it will actually shoot out and be really dangerous. Now we're going to loosen and remove the sway bar end link. The sway bar end link loose, the spring is all the way down. Now we can adjust the top nut holding the spring in place. This is a Schwabin tool that I have and an Allen key. Use the Allen key so the shaft doesn't spin. If it spins, you could damage your strut piston, so you don't want to do that. And you don't want to use an M-Pact either. Unfortunately, my camera stopped recording, but I basically lowered the strut assembly, tipped it over, removed the top camera plates, and removed the spring. Now I'm going to reinstall the new spring. Slide the spring top mount on. And I'm going to slide the camera plate over. Make sure that it's oriented the right way. Then I'm going to install the top nut. This is a strut reinforcement plate that I have. It's great for the E46 shock towers. And then I'm going to jack the assembly up. And then loosely install the top nuts. Now I'm going to tighten the top nuts. And then now I can tighten the top nut on the strut assembly using my special Schwabin tool and an Allen key. And now the tops are tight. Now we can install the sway bar end link. Torque that down. And now we're going to spin the spring collars back up to where we measured previously. This will get us in the ballpark of where it was at, but we still need to get it corner balanced and aligned. Now that the measurements are pretty close to what it was before, I'm going to tighten the spring collars. So this side is pretty much done. Everything is tight. You could reinstall your auto leveler headlights. Mine is broken, so I didn't have to do that. Now I'm going to go to the passenger side and then move to the rear. So the fronts are done. Now we're at the driver's side rear. This is the rear spring setup assembly. We're going to loosen the bolt on the shock. Then the whole arm will drop and we can remove the spring and the spring collar. Remove the bolt from the shock. Push out on the assembly, pull the spring out. Here's the spring height adjuster. Now here's the stock Ohlins 628 pound spring compared to the Swift 784 pound spring. This is how the assembly would be. I put the spring height adjuster back in. Then the top spring locator back in. I'm going to grab the spring, push down on the assembly, reinstall the spring, make sure everything lines up correctly. And then I'm going to use a jack and jack it up slowly. So once the bolt is loosely installed, I'm going to jack up the suspension completely. You want to tighten this bolt under load, and I'm going to torque it, and I'm going to lower everything back down. So this side is pretty much done. I'm going to move to the other side and reinstall the wheels and then go for a test drive. Just got back from a test drive. Feels just as comfortable as before. The Ohlins dampeners are really good. I think they can handle a minor spring rate increase. You want to check with your coilover setup to make sure that your struts and shocks can handle the spring rate increase before you change the springs. The stiffer springs will help the car transition faster, and it complements the aero and the R compound tires. Now I'm going to get my car corner balanced and aligned before I head to Laguna Seca in a couple weeks. can't wait to try out the new spring rates along with my race shifter that I'll be installing soon. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.